Hey Guru Nation, how's it going? First of all, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. It has been helping me out a lot also with the algorithm. If you just leave any comment, robot emoji is kind of how we started this thing, but any emoji, if you don't know what to say, just put an emoji that best represents you. Robot emoji is what I've been using. I got a question. It's actually a good one, and it's actually perfect question for going into the holiday season. As a CRA, because you are required to travel a lot, can you bring your family? And the answer is yes, but the answer also is when it makes sense for you. So there's two scenarios. I could only speak personally from the scenario where I'm a contract CRA. So what that means is I have to pay for my travel and accommodations up front, and then I get reimbursed from the sponsor after I do the monitoring visit. Now, most people are not in this situation. Most people are W-2 employees, so I'm going to get to W-2 in a little bit. But if you are a contractor, you're in charge of scheduling and paying for, most importantly, paying for your travel accommodations. So when I travel, I often bring my wife with me. The only thing I come out of pocket, the only thing I don't get reimbursed for is her flight. All right, but everything else, I already have to pay for it. I already have to pay for an Airbnb. I already have to pay for the flight, right? Any transportation to and from the site, I already have to pay for. So for me, it makes sense to bring my wife with me occasionally. If I had kids, obviously I would need my spouse to bring my kids with me, as somebody's got to watch them when I'm monitoring. But yeah, I would. You would have to pay for their flight. So it doesn't make sense every time for you to do this because it does come out of your payment ultimately. If you are a W-2, you're still in charge of scheduling your own flight. So you could easily position yourself to sit next to your family when you fly, and that's really all you have to worry about. And then you'd have to come out of pocket for that, right? Paying for your family's trip. So it's not going to be something you're going to do every time, especially monitors that travel 25 days out of the month. You're definitely not going to do that every time, but when it makes sense, right? Or it may make even more sense when you're within driving distance. Let's say you're monitoring 3-hour drive from where you live, right? You just bring, and then you get a hotel for the night in the city that you're monitoring. You don't even have to pay for a flight, right? You just take your car, you reimburse for miles for driving, and you don't really come out of pocket because it doesn't matter if your family's sitting with you in the car or not. You're going to be making that trip regardless. So it doesn't make sense to do it every time. It's not like the CRO. As far as I know, the CRO and sponsor is not going to pay for your family to come with you. Same thing, by the way, applies for investigator meetings. I know with investigator meetings, they pay for the staff to go fly and stay in the hotel. Oftentimes, especially if it's a location where somebody's spouse or family from the site has never been, or it's like an exciting destination, they'll often bring their family with them and they'll pay for their flight. But the hotel and everything else already paid for. So same thing when you're a CRA, right? You can do it. It doesn't make sense to do it every time because you're ultimately paying for it. But it does make sense to do it every now and then and make a little staycation out of it or a mini vacation out of it. Because again, all you're paying for is the flight. And as a CRA, you tend to rack up a lot of miles, so you get a lot of perks, sometimes even free tickets, right? So it does make sense, and I do know CRAs that do this. Not often, but it does happen quite a bit. And something that's never discussed, but I understand with the holiday season coming up, monitoring visits still has to get going, and sometimes you just want to bring family with you, and that's fine. You can do that. Take care, Guru Nation. Good questions. Keep them coming. Like, subscribe, comment, share. It means a lot to me. Bye-bye.